Glam fam? So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do something more interactive with you guys. Please don't mind the train in the background. I literally live right across the street from some train tracks, so it's always something going on. But today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to give y'all 5 business tips that every young entrepreneur should know. And this is something that I get asked a lot. Like, I want to do a class, I want to do something where I can talk to y'all one-on-one and give you more knowledge and more information than I can just from this video, but I do want to give you guys some tips to get started so that you have a starting point. So I'm gonna just get right into the video. I don't want this to be like a long thing where you guys are like, okay, Shy, like, I get it. So here we go. So this is just my little list. The first one I put down was get started now. A lot of people like to procrastinate, and procrastination is not a good thing. Like, sometimes procrastination when it comes to like schoolwork, maybe it'll like make you work faster, if that makes sense. Like, if you know you got an assignment due the night before, you're gonna be working to get it done so that you can turn it in on time. But when it comes to starting a business or even starting a YouTube channel, you can't procrastinate, because the more you procrastinate, the more opportunities you're missing out on. So that's definitely a big part of this. Rule number 2, or tip number 2 that I have, is staying organized. Staying organized is going to eliminate a lot of the stress that you're going to encounter during this journey, because trust me, you're going to encounter a lot of stress and a lot of frustration. But if you eliminate being cluttered and having a mess everywhere, like, staying organized will definitely help you out in the long run. Rule number 3 is find help. So I started my business almost a year ago. In 2 months it'll be a year, so 10 months ago, and it has grown so fast. It's kind of like, it's crazy. Like, I feel like I could move my company into a factory, and like, that's how big it's getting. Like, it's moving so fast that I need to move it into a factory and stop doing it just from my house, because there's so much going on and I do everything by myself. And sometimes that's like a really bad thing for me, because I could be focusing on other ways or other things that I can, you know, invest my money into or grow my business or things like that. So finding help was something that I had to do. I now have 2 other employees, and of course my mom helps me out and like family, but I have 2 other employees and I love them. They're so great, and it's definitely helped me out a lot. And you know, even if it's just like them writing out envelopes for me, or, you know, them going to the post office, that's something else that I don't have to do, you know. So finding help and just managing your time is really important too, and it's something that you have to do, because a lot of us, especially like business owners, like, are people who are just like have that instinct to take charge. They want to take matters into their own hands all of the time, but we can't do that because it's just going to drive you crazy, you know. So that's definitely important. And rule number 4, or tip number 4, this is a big one, and everybody's going to experience a situation where they're dealing with negativity. So rule or tip number 4 is to block out negativity. There's always going to be somebody trying to talk down on you or say you're a scammer. Like, it happens to everybody. Like, big brands like Amore Jada, I've always looked up to her. I've followed her since she barely had any followers. Like, she's always had a decent following, but like, I followed her back when she had like 10,000 followers and she didn't even have her whole company now. And a lot of people say she's a scammer, but I mean, she sends out her product and all this stuff. Sometimes people put the wrong address. Sometimes people just have bad intentions and don't want to see you grow. And that's just the kind of world we live in. So you just have to block out negativity. I get a lot of negativity because I'm a small company and people think that I'm a big company, so I'm not able to send out products the same day that they, you know, ordered them. It takes at least 7 to 10 business days. And in the month of January, I had the flu, so I was out for a week, and we were snowed in for a week. So it just kind of slowed everything down. So people were like, oh, she's a scammer, she's taking my money, da da da. But I know that I'm not a scammer, and I send out everybody's stuff. So you're just gonna have to have that like self-confidence and just know in yourself that you know who you are, and regardless of what other people are calling you, you know you're not that. So just block out the negativity. A tip that another business owner gave to me was like, if you're posting something on social media, just turn off the comments if you see a lot of people talking bad about you, because you know that you had other things to deal with, or you weren't able to send out orders just yet. So you know, you just have to turn off the comments sometimes to block out the negativity. Or if people are cussing at you and doing this and doing that, although they may be a customer, block them. Nobody deserves to be talked to any kind of way. Like, sometimes people forget that us business owners, like, we're human too. So when they're cussing at you and doing this and doing that, you don't want to make your business look bad, so you're not going to cuss them out. So the best thing to do, and I've learned this myself, is to just go ahead and block them. They'll get their product when they get their product. They don't have to order again. If they don't like me, they don't like me, and that's on them. That's what they got to deal with. But at the end of the day, you have to still know in your heart that you could go to sleep at night, and that's just that. So that's definitely a big thing, just blocking out negativity and not letting that slow your process down. Because what people fail to realize is, for every 1 or 2, 3 people that's talking negative about you, there's a whole 1,000 that's talking good about your product. So try to focus on those 1,000 and not those 3 people, you know? And then the last, and to me the most important one that I'm just now figuring out 10 months into owning my business, is to save your money and spend it wisely. So I'll give y'all kind of like a estimate of how much I used to make every month. So when I first started my business, all the way up until the end of the year, my business was worth $20,000, okay? And that's not really a lot, because I was still testing the waters. I had just opened my business, and I was young. I'm still young, but I had just turned 19, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I kind of just quit my job at Mac and jumped right into the next thing, and it ended up being successful. So I was making, the first few months, I would say like $3,000 every month. And then I started making $4,000. And then one month, I didn't make a lot at all. Like, I barely made like $500, like it was nothing. So, because I had stopped promoting, I was in kind of like a bad place, if that makes sense. Like, I just wasn't doing as good as I wanted to do, and that sometimes can get defeating. So I was like, okay, so I need to sit down and see what I'm doing wrong. And one thing that I was doing wrong was not wearing my product. I wear my product every day now, whether I have on makeup, whether I don't have on makeup. I wear it every day, so people can look at me and be like, oh my gosh, what does she have on her lips? And I mean, it works. Like, you have to promote your product because you want people to buy it. If you're not wearing it, nobody else is gonna wear it, you know? So when I started doing that, I started making $5,000 a month. And after I started making $5,000, it was like $6,000. Like, it just kept going up. And this is the first month of the year, which was January, of course. It's February 1st today. So for January, just off lip gloss sales and selling them at $5 a piece, I made $11,000, a little bit over $11,000, and that's not like including what I make from YouTube. So just imagine making $11,000 a month, being a college student. I'm 19 years old. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. You just really have to put in that effort and put towards that that mentality, like what separates me from everyone else. Because, you know, some people don't know how to handle their money. And it took me a long time to learn that I have to save my money. I would be so fast to get $5,000 and only have $1,000 or $2,000 in my account. And now I know how to be smart with money. I invest my money. I make sure that I'm spending my money on necessities. Like, yeah, I have a lot of money, but I don't go and spend it on designer stuff, because to me, I'm not to that point yet. Not until I'm making, you know, $100,000 a year, which I'm on that track. You know, you have to make $8,233, I think it is, every month to make 6 figures. So until I'm making 6 figures, I don't want to go out and buy designer stuff. And if I do buy designer stuff, like the other day, I don't know where it's at, I had bought my first Louis bag. And y'all a damn fool if you think I paid full price for my Louis bag. I went to a secondhand consignment shop where they authenticate their bags, so they're 100% real. But I just buy one that was already used, or I bought one that was already used, because I'm not to the point where I feel comfortable making big purchases like that. Not unless it's for my business. Like, I always want to grow and invest into my business, and that's one thing I do a lot, is invest all the money that I make right back into my business so that I can double and triple it, you know? So I'm not like a big flexer. I don't like that. I don't like people that do it for the gram, because it's all about saving your money if you want your business to grow and if you want to be secure financially. So those are my 5 like tips to young entrepreneurs and things that I think will really like help you guys grow in your business. And if you take these tips and you apply them to your everyday regimen, you're gonna be successful. Like, trust me. I went from working at Mac, and I thought that was my dream job, and I made $166 every week. That's without the tax and all that. And I hated it. I hated having to wear makeup every day because my skin was breaking out really bad. You had to deal with people, and people were really rude. Just meeting sales goals and all this stuff, like it wasn't fun to me. So when I quit Mac and I followed what I really wanted to do, and I didn't even know that making glitter lip gloss was what I wanted to do, but once I started doing it, it's like, oh my gosh, I love what I do. Now I'm like the happiest I've ever been, and I'm able to support myself financially and set myself up for a better future when I get older, so I don't have to work my whole life, and so that when I get older, my kids or my brother's kids or whoever can have a company, like a family business that we can keep on going, so that everybody's secure. Because at the end of the day, I feel like being successful is you're not successful until you can support your future family members, if that makes sense. So that's always the goal. And I feel like if you're not motivated, go on Gucci.com and look at a bag and see how much that bag is, and say, can I buy 2 of these right now? And if you can't buy 2 of these, you need to figure out how you can buy 2 of those, you know? So that's how I keep myself motivated. So that's how I keep myself motivated. I really hope this helped y'all out a lot. I'm gonna try to do more videos like this in the future. I'm just like a really awkward person, so it's kind of hard for me to talk to a camera. Like, I'm still getting used to that. Like, I could sit here and record myself doing makeup, but talking to the camera is a whole different story. So sorry if I'm a little awkward or long-winded. I'm just trying to get used to this. So I love you guys a lot, and thank you for joining the Glam fam. And if you haven't joined, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And I don't know why I haven't been saying this in my videos, but go ahead and turn my notifications on, because I will be posting a lot more. Just stay connected with me on Instagram and Twitter, and you'll see the updates and all that. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.